I just wanted to come down the creek today, and I got this fishing kit I keep in my pocket. And I might make a primitive fish hook while we're down here, but I wanted to see if I could take my little fishing kit and catch a fish. I got this little cedar thing I made. It's got a piece of a worm on it still, but it's got a piece of split shot and a hook. Let's see. I think I'm gonna make me a bobber out of a turkey feather. One of those, one of them quill floats, and add to this kit. But I went and I tried to find some worms, but found this turkey backbone, and I got 2 grubs in there. And I'm gonna put the small grub on here and see if we can't catch a fish. I'll put that on there just like that. I might move the split shot up some. Just like that. See if we can't get it. You got my bait. I'm gonna take my hook off and put on a fly, since I ain't got no bait. Take one of these flies, put it on there and see what happens. Alright, he ain't big, but I caught one. Hope I got that on video. Just a little fly on my little kit. Just a little fly with a little split shot on it. I put this band on it to hold it. I just keep this in my haversack, and I've always got a way to catch fish. But I was thinking about trying to make some primitive fish hooks today while I was down here. I just wanted to try this. I always like to use it every once in a while just to stay in practice with it. But this is a turkey backbone. It looks like a skull kind of, but it's a turkey backbone, I'm pretty sure. But I was looking at those ribs in there. Man, you could actually make a pretty small fish hook out of that if you could break it just right and then do some, you know, do some trimming. That's a pretty cool bone to make. You could make some primitive fish hooks. I don't know if that's ever been done down here at the cabin, so we're just gonna lay these over here to the cabin and we might make a primitive fish hook. Alright, we're gonna try to make a fish hook. I may try to take this and hit it with a rock and break it a little bit and see if I can get something out of there to use. If not, I can just use a regular piece of bone. And I brought you can use a file, or this is I think a fingernail file. You can just keep that in your bag to work bone and stuff, to make stuff. Let's see. I don't know if I can take this and hit it or not. So I hit it with the butt of my knife. If you could get some of that out of there, some of these fine ones, and cut that somehow, you could make a real small, tiny hook. I mean, you could do it. And some of these shapes like that, you know, you could carve on it. So it's pretty neat. It just gives, maybe it's just an idea. Well, I keep breaking this thing up. What I'm trying to do is make the sharp part. I got this right here. I may start working on this, see if I can't work on this a little bit. Cut my hand with the saw. All I had was electrical tape, so y'all gonna have to bear with me on that. Got a file. This ain't a Swiss Army, but it's like an imitation. I hope to get a real Swiss Army one day, but this one's got exactly everything that the Swiss Army has. It's just a knockoff brand. This is going to be the hook, the sharp part of the hook. So I busted that thing all to pieces trying to get me a good piece. I'll save that bone, like, you know, you'd make a whole bunch of them out of it. I wish someday I may try to make something, try to make a real tedious small, because that's what I catch fish with. These bigger hooks. CLP Bushcraft showed me how to make these at the Georgia Bushcraft Gathering. He's a super great guy, but he said that they make these, and they was for the big, huge, like big salmon, big trout, or not trout, but big salmon, and they'd pull them behind their canoes. It was for the northwest type tribes of Indians and stuff. He used these. I believe that's what he said. But anyway, let's find us a stick. Use one like this. I got to be careful with this saw. Cut my thumb. These silky saws are sharp. Okay, it may be too short. I may not be able to hold on to it. Get my old moor out. I think it quit bleeding, so I think I'm good. You want to get an angle so your fish hook will come like up it. So you want to get a good cut across here like that. I'll show you. That's what you're going to tie your sharp part of the hook to. So the angle of that's going to determine how your hook is. Like that. So however you want that angle to be is how you cut this angle right here on your stick before you tie it. It's pretty cool. And then I'm going to trim all this up to tie it to it. But that's the angle. You want to get it like how you want your point. After I make that angle, now I'm starting to cut in here just to make this give a little more bite in here when that hook stick it up. Just cut some of this out. Just trying to shape it. I still got that right there, but I went into the wood right there just to give it, and I just trimming this all the way up. And I think up here I'm gonna put a little, you can either gouge a hole through it, or you can just put your little groove around it, or a little knot at the top to put your line around. Put me a little groove around it. Got that. Flattened out the sides a little bit. I tried to make the sides the same width as that. And then, so there you go. And all now we gotta do is wrap it. So to wrap it, you take sinew, or I guess you could use some type of thread, but I always use sinew. Put your hook up there. You gotta get a wrap or two up here on the wood. Go back and forth. Go this way, and then you go the other way. It keeps it even. Then you got that extra tag, you can tie it off. I'm sure there's some kind of fancy knots you can use, but I just use a regular knot. Can't hold it with my thumb because I Alright, there you go. Forget the name of that twist where you just go over it and back around, back the other way. But you probably take a lighter or something and burn that. But it's got a nice, real sharp bone point. You can tie your line right here, and you know it'd take a pretty good fish. You could catch a big bass or something with it, I guess. And you could, you know, it's real deedy, but you could make a smaller, you know, a smaller one. Maybe use some panfish and all. But anyway, that's a primitive fish hook. And CLP Bushcraft is the one that showed me how to do this at a Georgia Bushcraft Gathering. He's an awesome guy. So, it's pretty cool. And you can make it out of, I guess you could use thorns. Like I had a thorn down here. Maybe if you're just gonna make a little one, you could use something like these thorns or something, maybe in some way. And you got bamboo. I cut a piece of this bamboo down there, like a little bitty piece. You could probably sharpen it, or you could just take the stick and use it to make this sharp point. I like to use bone. I don't know why, but I just think it's cool. But that's basically how you do it. You just have to that angle, however you cut that on the stick, is how you is how, you know, how this thing will be. So you can adjust it, maybe customize it to what you want. But anyway, primitive fish hook. Thank y'all for being down here with me today. I really enjoyed it. I just had a day where I could get out and play and do things. But my little fish kit, you know, we caught a fish using it. So you know, I made cordage out of cedar bark on a previous video, if y'all are interested in that kind of stuff, and I used a gouge hook to catch a fish. It took me about 15 or 20 tries, I think, because of the fish has to swallow it to catch them with a gouge hook. But this little thing's pretty cool, and see, it just fits in your pocket. And I just took a piece of cedar and cut that out, that little shape to hold that. But I just put a bunch of small hooks because, you know, I guess in a survival situation, I'm just trying to catch the easy little ones, you know. So that's why I keep this in my pocket, which I'll probably never be in a survival situation, but you don't ever know. So, you know, I've got this in my pocket, in my back pocket, or in my pack all the time. But thanks for being here. I've enjoyed getting out and doing this stuff today. The fish is out there still hitting in the creek. But this is my little cabin. Maybe I'll make another video here in a couple of days doing that. But remember what I always say, keep God first. Creek Camper out.